Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ignition Point podcast, the podcast that is your source for all things PGI. Your hosts today are myself, Adam Keeley, Joel Robinson, and Lisa Peaches Clayton. And we're joined by a special guest today, Mr. Rick O.
Hey,
We call
everybody.
him Rick O because none of us know how to say his last name. So I don't want to embarrass myself, so we'll just let Rick take it away. Rick, tell us who you are and what you do for PGI.
Hi, I'm Rick Olivieri. I've been
Olivieri, there it is.
Olivieri. There you go.
Okay, got it.
I have been a PGI member going on my 26th year this year, and I spent most of it in the backfield. The first PGI I went to, Jimmy, our safety director, put a red shirt on me, and I went and made the rounds, and I landed at the comp line, spent some time at the comp line, switching out the firing system in order to improve the speed and accuracy of that with the Cobra system, which worked flawlessly. Once I got it down pat, I turned it over to my best buddy to take it over, and I got bored, so I didn't want to leave competition. I went to the judges table, and after 5 years of the judges table, I'm now the chief judge. But more important than that, and the reason that I'm here tonight is because I had a marketing background while I was doing pyro and working for display operators. And that marketing background led me to doing events at stadiums, and doing events at stadiums led me to helping the local football stadium and football team owner bring in events. So I learned how to do that stuff. And when the PGI recently decided they needed to change their business model and needed someone who knew how to do that, I volunteered. And so
You were the
I'm here
guy.
tonight to talk about the public side of the house, not the back side of the house.
Nice, nice. Well, one of the things we sometimes do is remind all of our listeners, in case we have any new listeners, what the PGI is. But it might be nice to have your perspective. So let's ask that question to you. Tell our new listeners like who we are as an organization.
So
Maybe.
if you've never been to a PGI show and you've never heard of us, and I've found out that a lot of people who even take our PGI doc course don't even realize who we are. PGI is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization focused on the safe, legal, artful execution of fireworks. And our main goal is to provide fireworks safety training. The events that we will have in August in your town, right, or in this case in Wisconsin, is a combination of our membership coming together for training, for fireworks safety training. We have seminars all week long. Sure, we have some fun. There's an art show and there's food and there's little campsite rituals that go on. But basically, our purpose of our organization is fireworks training. The money that we make during the week on public shows helps us fund all of the good training that we do during the year. So this 1 week event is sort of like our Black Friday. It's sort of our opportunity to make enough money so that we can do good things for the rest of the year. Example, we just had our planning meeting in Kakana. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Peaches, did I? Yeah. And a week before, or a couple days before we went to do our planning meeting and do measurements and kiss the rings of the local officials, we invited, I believe, somewhere upwards north of 50 fire and safety professionals to our training doc class, absolutely free on a grant that we provided. That's the kind of thing that the proceeds of your ticket purchase will go to. The rest of the cost of putting on our convention is funded by our members who pay a pretty hefty convention fee. And so the last piece that pays for it is business sponsorships, which hopefully I'll have a chance to talk about later. So all volunteer, nonprofit, fireworks safety. Those are the three things you need to remember about who PGI is.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but
Very close. I think you did a better job articulating it, though.
well, yeah, well said. Well said. I mean, I like how you kind of went through all of the things that it encompasses. Obviously, the convention is a huge part of what the PGI is. So maybe could you tell us a little bit about the public events, the public side of the convention?
Yeah, I'd love to.
For our audience?
I am an Ignition Point watcher and listener, and so I know that you guys primarily talk about the backside of the camaraderie of the membership and and all that stuff. But for those of you who have never been to one of our shows, I need to try to explain to you that this is not your municipal 20-minute fireworks show that you get at 4th of July from the ball field. It's far from that. It's, first of all, it's not in that environment. It's usually in a stadium. And it's world-class, Olympics style symphonic music timed to the 10th of a second, to the point where you're going to just sit there in your seat and you're going to say, oh my God, how did they do that? Right from the start, from the opening number to the end, you're just going to be wowed. And I can't describe to you until you've watched some of the videos, which you can find, by the way, at pgi.org/tickets on our ticket site. And you can also find up at the top of the ticket site, there's 3 little links for our social media links that you can go to. And there's many videos, some of which are featured, Joel is featured in, that you can go and you can watch some of our shows. But it's over-the-top fireworks like you've never seen before. And it's not just one show. It's the week of shows. There's 3 shows this week. We have August 8th, which is our opener. We have the 12th, which is our competition behind-the-scenes night. And then we have our, I don't want to call it grand public finale, but it is. It's the 14th, which is the end of the week, and it's the grand public display. And so each one of those shows is completely unique and different. It's not like you're buying a ticket to a Broadway show and the same cast runs through the same script, the same score every night. You can choose from 3 different, diversely different shows, all of which are highly produced, that are timed to a second. And in a nutshell, these shows are usually 4 to 5 segments per night. And that doesn't include the surprise stuff that happens. I mean, there might be fireballs that go off unexpectedly. There might be dancing flames that dance in between an intermission. There might be some pattern shells that go off between major segments. There's a complete production team. There's a back office team. There's a safety team. And they have to try to make all of these pyrotechnicians and display operators work with one another without blowing up somebody else's display. It's a phenomenal event overall. From a public side, I'm watching ticket sales now, and I'm seeing more than 15% of our buyers are buying all 3 shows. And I think that,
As they should.
Yeah, that's a good decision.
Right. So yeah, that's what our event is from the public side. You don't get behind the scenes. You're not going to get to the art show. You're not going to get to go to the training. But for the most part, if you are a working person or have kids at home, you can't take the entire week off to spend from 9 in the morning in a seminar until late at night until show. And so this is the best way for you to get a taste of what it would be like if you were a PGI member and maybe at a different stage in your life, you had a week to put into it. This is a good taste of that.
You mentioned several things that I want to talk about later, but
Okay.
before we get to that, it's probably worth expanding on the venue. Where exactly is this year's convention, and what's it like from the public perspective in the
I've been making phone calls in this area since December, talking to prospective sponsors, and I didn't realize until this week I was mispronouncing Kaukauna. It's in Kaukauna, which is outside of Appleton, Wisconsin. And it's not a foreign place to us because we've been there before. 15 years ago, we were there, and it was one of the rare times we had rain and we had a flood. So it's not a great memory, but the show did go on, and so there's no worry about that. And we've also been further south, which isn't all that far south, in Oshkosh. So we have some followers from that region. So the area is nice. It's far enough out of Appleton where we won't bother people, but it's close enough to Appleton where all the major hotels are there. The venue itself is a racetrack, and it's perfect for our type of show because it has a backfield that's far enough away for safety, and it has this bowl layout inside where there's no bad seat in the house. If you buy a general admission ticket, trust me, you're going to be fine. And if, when I go to the movies, sometimes I like to sit right up front and I like to, spray my head up. Sometimes I like the panoramic view and I like to sit in the way back. You'll have a choice in general admission. In the bleachers, you'll be able to pick the seat you want. You can sit stage left, you can sit stage right, you can sit up forward, or you can sit back. The seat selections here are priced in such a way where there's a price ticket for everybody's pocketbook. So if you are the type that wants to go for the high-end experience with the food and beverage included, and you want to buy the ticket to the skybox and roof deck and have a private environment with only you, intimately, you, your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, and 40 other people away from the crowd because you don't like crowds, you can do that. If you want the in-your-face experience and you want to buy the front row center seats on any given night, you can do that. If you want to buy the sit in the grass seats, you can do that and bring a blanket. And we have these really unique above ground sky decks, VIP boxes that we offer. And there's a price point for everybody who wants to see it. The venue is older, but it's adequate for what we do, and it's got the capacity. It usually holds 13,000 people for their main big race that they have in the fall, which is called Eve of Destruction. We're not using all 13,000 because for safety reasons, there's a turn 2 set of bleachers that we're not going to fill. And that'll mean that if we get 9,000, it'll be comfortable seating for everybody and people won't be packed in like sardines. So that's the venue.
So my parents are getting a little bit older these days and they're not getting around as well. Will there be handicap parking and maybe seats for people that are in wheelchairs? Sorry.
Yes. If you go to pgi.org/tickets and you don't skip straight down to the individual event pages like everybody does. My favorite saying nowadays is nobody reads. Nobody wants to read. I'm kind of hoping that people will at least listen while you're in your car going to
tell
work.
me.
Listen to this and you'll learn all this stuff that you didn't want to read. But on the pgi.org/ticket site, there's a whole section on ADA compatible seating and parking. We have a checkout question at the end of the buying process that asks you 3 simple questions. And one of them is, do you plan on using a handicap parking spot with the official handicap placard? And if the answer to that is yes, we're going to save you a spot. And we'll know how many spots we need when we plan it out. If the answer is no, then we're going to recommend that you buy a reserve parking spot, which can't be guaranteed to be front row like handicap would be, because we're not sure how many they're going to be. A lot of people are buying them now, I can tell you that. About 20% of the buyers are buying them because we've found that studies have shown that people who buy the reserve parking pass when they go to a venue like this have a higher satisfaction rating because they have less stress. And so if your parents don't have an HDA plate, but they are slower than the average person, they can buy the reserve parking and that gets them closer to the gate. Once they get in, there's also an apron at the top of the bowl, so they don't have to walk down the bowl with the railings that actually have placards that say wheelchair handicap seating. And so I've had a lot of questions about that, and I've told people, don't worry, if you have able-bodied people with you and you bring your folding chair, your wheelchair person can sit up against the rail and there should be enough space for you to sit with them. So
Well, that's good. I should be able to talk my dad into it then.
There you go.
Oh, Peaches, you're local, right? How far away
am
are you
local.
from the convention this year?
I am actually about 10 minutes away.
Okay, so I expect to meet your entire extended family and pretty much everyone you went to school with at the convention.
You probably will.
That's what we like to hear.
What else do you want to know?
So there were 3 different show nights.
That's right.
What are the different descriptions for each night?
They're all unique and they're all different and they're described pretty well and in detail on pgi.org/tickets, but I'm going to give you a rundown because nobody wants to read. So opening night is Saturday, August 8th, and it's a great date night kind of thing or a family night thing. It's my favorite night. If I shouldn't say this, secret. You're going to get more pyro for your buck and you're going to see more diverse effects than you would on Wednesday or even on the Grand Public finale. The Grand Public finale, Joel, is pomp and circumstance. It's, the playing of the anthem and the passing of the torch and the necrology report and a 21-gun salute in the air to fallen members. And it's one thing after another, after another, after another. And it's the cracker burn where we burn 1 million crackers. And then you get to the production numbers, which could be 3 or 4, depending upon what we've got in store for you. But the opening night is filled with electricity. It's anticipation like I've never seen before. And it's because it's a culmination of all of these pyrotechnicians, field personnel, beaches staff, building shows 4 or 5 days in advance, and the designers and the choreographers and the display operators planning their shows, choreographing them on computers weeks in advance, and everybody coming together like little ants all in a dancing march to do it. Now, when you add the superb music from Audioban technology, where they blast the music up into the stands. It's not that blast music like you're in the mosh pit at AC/DC, but it's enough that you're going to feel the beat of the music and you're going to see the shells break in time to the music. And it's going to be an event like you've never seen before. Now, the lineup is pretty simple. It's WPAG. And for those of you who don't know what WPAG is, it's Wisconsin Pyrotechnics Artist Guild. field. Even though we're pyrotechnicians, a lot of us refer to ourselves as artists. Then we'll have the national anthem. We'll have some little methane rainbow ghost mines, which are really cool. And if you look closely at pgi.org/tickets, you might even find some of those. Then we have a presentation from one of our dearest friends, Judy from Pyromax and Chimway. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's a Chinese name. She did a great show at NFA last year, and we loved it so much that we wanted to have her, and she agreed to come. And there's a guy named Rich Blanford from Spectral Pyro. I think it's Sugar Rush Art Festival is his claim to fame, and he's putting on a show. And then we'll have award-winning, the spectacular Sean Hodder, who is an artist like you've never, a pyro artist that has combined music and pyro like nobody other. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you, which is why I like opening night the most, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what the theme of the drone show is going to be, because it's a tightly held secret to the point where even me, the show promoter, doesn't know.
What if I know?
Okay.
Oh,
Joel
might be involved in it.
The inside scoop.
But on opening night, you're going to see a hybrid show of drones dancing with pyro in such a way that you can only see online right now until then. Okay. That's why I like opening night the most. All right. So that's our opening night. Do you want to know about the rest of the shows, or do you want to wait till later?
I want to know about the rest.
Okay.
Well, hey, we kind of talked a little bit. We know what's coming up Wednesday, at least a part of it, based on our
So Wednesday is our
time.
behind the scenes night. And let me tell you how this came about. Last year in Boone, Iowa, we didn't have a show on Wednesday night. And I got flooded with people who were pinging the ticket site asking, how can I buy tickets for tonight? And unfortunately, it was our private play night where we do our own little thing. And at the end of the evening, after the show was over, I leaned over to the second vice president and the president, and I said, I could have sold a you-know-what out of this. And we could have not only brought the audience in for more, but we could have done well. This was a professional night. I don't know why we didn't bring them in. So on Wednesday night, we normally do our Junior Pyrotechnicians Night show. That's a bunch of young,
under 18,
well supervised by their parents, technicians who are pyro enthusiasts, who have grown up with their parents coming to convention. And they, during the week, design, choreograph, pick their own product, and develop their own show, even to the point where they announce it to the audience. It's developed over the years. To be honest with you, it was kind of a sky's puke for a while there with just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But they've really figured it out, and they've started to choreograph, and I've watched them, pick their music carefully, and it's really quite a show in itself. And it lasts quite a while. But we'll open up Wednesday night with the Spirit of 76 National Anthem, which is something like I shouldn't say that I've seen, but I know it's going to be over the top for our nation's 250th anniversary. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a thing called a mass launch of a special type of device. I'm not going to tell you what the device is because it's an Italian name, and half the listeners won't know what it is. But we might just break a record with the number that we put up in the air. And then we're going to do this thing called Battle in the Sky. And what Battle in the Sky is an opportunity for a non-professional display person who may work for display operator to use product that we provide, and use firing system that we provide, and use the racks that we provide to build their own show, choreograph their own show, and put it up in the audience. So what we've been doing for the last number of weeks is we've been taking applications using Finale Fireworks choreograph software. Finale Pro has allowed us to give them licenses for a period of time. And Ace Pyro, who was our sponsor, is giving us all the racks and all of the equipment from their catalog, and they're going to actually bring the product for them. So we will probably pick 3 of the top best designs from that, and we will invite those 3 top players to put on a show. So all they have to do is bring their friends and their crew, and build it, load it, stuff it, and fire it. Everything else is provided for them. And if you ever wanted to aspire to be a pyro, and someone told you that I'm going to give you $4,000 worth of product and gear and a field to put it on and an audience to shoot it in front of, you just go swing. So that's Wednesday night.
I have to ask.
What?
Did any of you guys enter?
I was expecting you to enter Peaches.
I
and
tried.
be on
I'm not
your
gonna
team
lie,
for
I
the
tried
competition.
very
difficulty. I
hard.
couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. I don't know what you said.
Oh,
Lost it.
so I can't see who the actual names of the people are when the entries come in, but I thought for sure that the site crew was going to put in an entry. You didn't put in an entry?
I tried.
All
I
right.
had never used Finale before, and it was
little
a little much
intimidating.
in a 2-week period, but I tried my best. I got about like
So
20 seconds of a show done, and then I ran out of time.
Here's the thing
So
about Wednesday night that I want to make sure I don't forget to tell you is that when all of this other stuff is done, when you're done with the JPA show and we've done the Spirit of 76 and the mass launch of the things, the Italian things that I'm not going to tell you what they are, and the Battle of the Sky is done, we turn over to regular competition. And if you're already in the audience, that's one shell at a time, announced individually and judged by a panel of judges. And so that's an opportunity to see member-made shells one at a time, but it's the bigger shells. And so the bigger the shell, the bigger the blast. And so I say online, way back in the backfield, that you never know what to expect on a Wednesday night, right? You are going to get more pyro for your money. It's the lowest priced, most affordable night show we have. And so if you're looking for variety and you really want to see a lot of pyro, Wednesday night is the night to buy. And one more thing about Wednesday night. We had people email us last year in Boone, athletic directors who said, gee, we really want to bring our teams to the shows, but we really can't afford it. And is there anything you can do to help us with group sales? And so we came up with this thing we call the 50 pack. And the 50 pack is specifically sold for groups and organizations and nonprofits. So if you are a football team or a soccer team and you're trying to earn money for your uniforms, or you are the Elks, or you have a church group, or you are the Lions Club, you can buy a 50 pack at half off, 50 tickets at a time, with 50% off the list price for that night's show. And you can either pass that savings on by selling them at the half price rate to your members, just so they all can go, or you can resell them at list price and keep the difference, which is about a $10 profit per ticket you sell. It's way faster for a profit for profits for a fundraiser than selling Girl Scout cookies. It's way faster than selling boxes of chocolates. And we have a lot of organizations that are taking us up on that. Wednesday is the night we can afford to do it. It's almost a cost to us to do it, but it'll fill the stadium and make for a better event for everybody. Okay.
So there's a lot going on Wednesday. I mean,
there's a lot going on Wednesday for the price.
I'm personally looking forward to the mass launch of cannolis.
Yeah. And so if you don't make it to opening and you don't make it to Wednesday, Friday is definitely a night you don't want to miss, because Friday you'll see drones again, but you'll see them in a different way. You'll see them representing our sponsors with their logos flying in the sky. And that's pretty unique in itself. Last year we had a sponsor, Casey's Stores, and they signed up early enough where I went online to our members only site and I told the membership, hey, everybody, as you're coming into town, recognize Casey's Stores. And what we did was we had an army of social media people in the club who basically created their own TikTok videos on their way in at Casey's Stores. The reason the Casey's marketing manager wanted to sponsor was because she said, you know, Rick, we're introducing pizza by the slice and slushies. And we don't think that many of our people know us for that. Many people just pump their gas and they leave. And we want to promote that. And I said, sure, we can do that. We'll try to put your logo in the sky. And so I had given the Verge guys, Joel, the logo using the red house with the barn, with the cupola on the top and the rooster on the top. And I figured that's what they're going to do. But in the script, I mentioned the pizza slice and the slushie. And the pizza slice and the slushie was such a big hit that the corporate office said to her, you need to do that again. Next time they're in town, you need to do that again, because they found their results of their sales bumped up by 15% as a result of being able to present that to an audience of 33,000 people. So on Friday night, the opening will be sponsors, but it won't be the same drone show with dragons or fire-breathing, octopi or lasers being shot out of the head of a robot, claiming that us humans have destroyed the earth. It's not going to be like opening night, but you'll still see the drones. We'll follow up there with an opening, a pyrotechnician of the year, Tyler Jenkins from Tennessee. And his name is on the website, pgi.org/tickets. You can click on his name and read a little bit about him. We'll do a Dominator smoke pre-show in between. We'll do some more rainbow mines. Then we'll have the Builder Showcase. For those of you who've never seen the Builder Showcase, we have some really master builders who will actually be working on shells in the manufacturing tent all week long. These are big shells. Builders who are grandmasters who have won awards don't go into the manufacturing tent to build 4-inch shells. They build 10s and 12s and 20s and 18s and big shells. And so the Builder Showcase will sometimes lights them off 2 at a time, sometimes 1 at a time, sometimes by name. I can't say how it's going to be shot because I'm not the technician shooting them, but that'll be followed by a classic favorite, Mum Pyrotechnics, which is a large club that a couple of years ago decided, hey, you know what? Let's teach people how to do what we do in our factory, and let's teach the membership how to build shells during the course of the week. And so not only do the members get to build shells under Mum's tutelage, but then they get to shoot them, and they actually see the shells that they made during the week. We'll have Midwest Fireworks, Nick Zimmerman with the show, and then Wisely Pyrotechnics will also be putting on a show. And I'm not sure what the order of who will be finale and which order they'll go in, and that's up to the production team to decide. Sometimes things have to be swapped around. But as I said earlier, it's a lot more pomp and circumstance. There'll be a welcome. There'll be announcements. There'll be a passing of the torch called the Green Man, which you can learn about when you click on pgi.org/tickets. And then there'll be all of the things that I've mentioned before. So each one of those 3 shows is completely unique and different.
Cracker burn. Excuse me.
Cracker burn. I forgot about the cracker burn. Adam, you're right. I'm pretty sure that what happens is the cracker, I don't even know what they call themselves, Cracker Burn Committee, will raffle off tickets to let somebody electronically ignite these 1,000,000 crackers.
So, Rick, in the past,
Yeah.
our winner has gotten to ignite the cracker string with a flamethrower.
Okay, you're right. That's good. Jeez.
So,
Very
Which
good.
is way more fun, by the way.
I'm going to have to add that to my script for next time I
That's
do
it.
one of these.
yeah,
Right.
it's a lot more fun than just pressing the button.
So that's the shows. In a nutshell, that's kind of the shows.
I'm
Okay.
aware of a few surprises on Wednesday and Friday we're not supposed to talk about yet. By the
Okay.
way.
More
All
than
right.
what Rick has already said.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
More than mass launch of Italian desserts.
Well,
Call me.
yeah, in some capacity.
Right.
So
Okay.
So I'm lucky enough to be able to be there all week long. And judging by what you said, if I was just a public member trying to figure out what night to go, I wouldn't have a clue. I would want to go to all of these. Is there any kind of a discount for going to every single night?
Yeah, in fact, there is. Here's what I recommend. I would first, on the website, I would go and I would buy the opening night first.
What was that website again?
PGI.org/tickets. Thank you, Adam.
Tickets. Yeah.
Or you could go to tickets.pgi.org, but that's a different tag. But it'll get you the same place.
Mind blown.
Get you the same place. If you buy the opening night first, you're going to get a confirmation email in your email. And in the very first line, because people don't read, there's going to be a thank you for buying a ticket. And then there's going to be the next sentence is going to say, use this special code, this discount code for your next purchase. And so that's how I would do that. I would use the code to go in and buy not the Wednesday show, because the Wednesday show is really cheap, or I should say inexpensive. But I would buy the finale show with it and use that code for that as well. So that's how we do it. Now our ticket system is new this year, and they're in beta testing about how you can put multiple events into one shopping bag, and it doesn't work very well. So I had a lot of people ask me, gee, why can't I buy all 3 shows in one sitting and use my credit card just once? It's very complex to do that, because what happens is when you check out, you get a QR code, and the QR code is set to a specific night. And then you get a confirmation email, and the confirmation email actually allows you to save that to your iPhone wallet and actually allow you to click on it to put it in your calendar, just like my Sky Wars tickets are in my iPhone wallet now. So if you buy each transaction separately, not only does it hurt less on your credit card, but you have 3 separate emails to follow, and you have 3 separate codes that don't get mixed up. Imagine having 3 nights worth of shows, and you bought, reserved parking on each one. And oh, by the way, you bought some of the merch. It gets a little bit confusing with the codes.
sorry, you said merch. Now I've heard rumors of some limited edition merch. What do you know about that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. For the last 2 years, we've had a lot of people say, hey, how do I buy my Kenny Chesney t-shirt? I go to Kenny Chesney over at Foxborough Stadium every year, and every year I collect the shirt, and it's a badge of honor to wear that all week long. So we went to a vendor and said, hey, our members and our customers want to buy commemorative PGI shirts that match the logo of our event each year. And so we are pre-selling them now along with the tickets, and you can order them in 4 different sizes and pick them up right inside the gate with the QR code. And so that's something that we added new this year, and it's starting off slow, but I think as ticket sales pick up, that we'll sell more of those. What else you guys got? What else do you want to know?
So you mentioned advertising for our sponsors with the drones. What other, Mr. Marketing sir, what other kind of ads and promotions have you been able to come up with? Anything unique out there? Are we doing billboards or movie theaters?
As I said at the beginning, we pay for this through ticket sales, membership dues, sponsorships, and you don't have to be a major corporation. You don't have to be Oshkosh B'gosh or 4imprint down in Oshkosh to buy a sponsorship to be a sponsor at our show. Yeah, we have those big sponsors, but you can buy a $250 sponsorship to get your name and your logo put in our welcome kit to our 2,000 convention attendees. Give you an example. When I go out to breakfast even when I'm camping, when I go out to breakfast when I'm at convention all week long, I usually get 4 or 5 of my friends from the C4 campsite, and we all load into my truck and we go and we find the local diner. And we ask around town, where's the best place to eat? And sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss. But when we find one that we like, we tell everybody back home at our site. And what happens is the next day, the whole place is filled up with PGI members. So the $250 welcome kit sponsorship puts your name inside the booklet, inside the bag, so that when people check in, we're driving people to your business. And if I owned a business for $250, I would trade $250 to get every single one of my tables filled at the breakfast and lunch and maybe even dinner menu. That's a great deal for me. And so there's sponsorships, for instance, if you are an oil delivery firm or a gas delivery firm. We use a lot of fuel, right? We're putting fireballs in the air. We're shooting, dancing flames with propane. So you could, for $500, you can be the name brand sponsor of the Fireball and get your business announced in front of 33,000 people in the audience in return for helping us pay for that stuff. We have a fire med team that needs supplies. We have the parking staff that you could help us with. And so every single one of the sponsorships on the sponsorships page at www.pgi.org/tickets will describe to you what you get and the recognition you get for becoming a sponsor. You don't have to be a big sponsor, but they're all going to be recognized not only on the field, but some of them you'll get on a banner inside the venue, and many of them will be put into our newsletter, and our social media team will promote the what out of them. So you'll benefit from not only the presence on the ticket site, which, by the way, we're probably going to have 1.5 or 2 million views on the ticket site by the time we're done. And to have your logo on the ticket site and have someone peruse it and see that you're a sponsor in the local town is not a bad thing to have a third person promoting you, right? There's one thing to promote yourself and say, hey, my restaurant's great, come and see it. But if you have a third party promote it, it adds more value to it.
So I'm sure if you had a business out there listening that wanted to investigate becoming a sponsor, they could probably go to the website, pgi.org/tickets. Is there an email or something you want to throw out there that they could reach you at?
If they go to pgi.org/tickets and they watch Joel's video, because Joel is featured in it, because I actually had the Verker brothers, I instructed them I wanted a video specifically about flying drones in the air with logos, and Joel and his team did a great job making it. And I watched that. At the bottom of the page, there's a couple places you can click on to get to tickets@pgi.org, which is the email address in front of Rico. And you can talk to me about what you want to do, because every conversation I have about a sponsorship starts off with, how can I help your business? What are you trying to achieve? And because I'll probably be writing the commercial message as I did last year. And so if what you're trying to do is promote the sales of your high margin meal or the new flight of beers that you have at the brew pub, that's what we're going to want to talk about. If you're trying to sell more snowmobiles or tractors, we'll make sure that there's a motorcycle and a snowmobile flying in the air over their heads as part of the creative. And so, yeah, you can go to that site, that you can download the actual price menu. You can actually click on a link where there are acknowledgments from last year's sponsors, where they actually wrote paragraphs for us saying how great we did. And so that's a third party reference. And then you can click on the link and you can get connected to me and I'll have a conversation with you about it.
I mean, look what it did for Casey's. You
Look what it
talked
did
about how
for Casey's.
satisfied they are. This week they joined the S&P 500. They're
Yeah.
a convenience store, but they're the 5th most selling pizza joint in the country. I'm just saying there's a correlation with what we did.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and where they're
All
at today.
started with PGI.
I'll start with PGI. Yeah.
So Joe's Diner wants to join the S&P 500. It starts with PGI.
Starts with your logo in the sky, and we can make that happen.
And hey, while I'm talking about sponsors and partners, I'd like to make sure we mention our sponsor and partnership people, including Verge Aero. The flying drones that you'll see are courtesy of Verge. We also have Woodward Communications, which is the home of 105.7, 94.7, and 104.7, the Razor, 95.5, Kiss FM, and 104.3, the Fuse, who have been advertising our ticket sales for us. I'd also like to thank Ace Pyro for donating their time, services, and their Starfire system, including Finale 3D choreographed software that is helping us with our Wednesday night Battle in the Sky. I'd like to thank Oshkosh Arena and Venue Works. We're doing a cross promotion where we're promoting their events throughout the summer and they're promoting us with their billboards and marquee signs outside, including Allegra Appleton, Wisconsin, a marketing and print mail service that we've been working with, Fox City Chamber, the Fox City Greater Appleton. I'd like to thank Neuroscience Group Field, the home of the Timber Rattlers, who are playing our video during their games. The Kaukauna Community News has been helping us promote and get the word out. The Champion Center, Fox City's ice rink, plays our video at their snack bar. And of course, Mr. Brew's Tap House, who graciously is helping us sponsor our afterglows. As well, I forgot VT Industries, maker of fine cabinet countertops, is also a sponsor of our Fire Med team. And we appreciate that because the Fire Med team is always needing supplies. So thank you to all our sponsors and helpers.
So being that I'm 10 minutes away from the racetrack, I know how the weather in Wisconsin is. So for public show nights,
But don't
are
say
there
it.
rain dates?
Don't say it.
Even though I don't want to say it, the R word.
Okay.
I gotta know. People gotta know.
To be honest with you, in 26 years of going to PGI, although I've had rain during a show or adjacent to a show, I can only remember 2 times in 26 years where we had to use the P word. We don't use the C word. We never cancel. We postpone. What'll happen is if we do have to postpone a show because we see inclement weather coming in, we'll try to do that as early in the day as possible. Now, I've already got 5 radio stations from 2 different counties who are already playing our commercials. And so we have the call-in emergency numbers where we can go to them and we can already have already pre-recorded, by the way, the MP3s to turn them on to notify people. And also because we have everybody's email address, because it's an all electronic form, I can send an email blast out to those people. We have a leaderboard out on the street, electronic LED board, so that in the event you don't listen to the news, don't watch the television news, don't pay attention to your email, and you do get in your car and you drive, you'll see that. But the postponement means that we just moved the exact same program from the night that got postponed into the next day. And so you never really get a cancellation, even if it does rain. Basically, you get the same program that you bought, and unfortunately, we can't give you a refund, but we'll promise you that the show that you bought, you'll get the following day, and you'll get plenty of notice before that happens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Peach is a little gun shy about rain. The memories
Sore
of
topic.
Peach has just spent way too much time
2010.
in the Fargo mud, and you awful stompers walking around with 20-pound feet because you're loaded with mud. I know that feeling.
Last year was pretty bad too. I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't affect shows, though.
No, it did not. You're right. Crazy enough, because we had a lot of rain.
That is shocking.
Shocking. Hey,
Well
hey,
done,
Rick.
volunteer team.
You mentioned radio ads. Are you doing any other advertising that's?
Oh,
You know-
are we doing advertising? If you are in anywhere from Green Bay all the way down to Fond du Lac, I get that right?
Fond du Lac.
Peaches?
Fond du Lac.
Thank you.
Actually, we're doing something that is covering the entire state of Wisconsin because we're calling it the Wisconsin Fireworks Festival. It's streaming over-the-top television ads, which is much different than broadcast TV. The difference between streaming and broadcast is that you can't skip a streaming ad. The little timer comes up and it tells you how much longer you have. But more important than that, it's targeted. It's targeted to someone who's already identified themselves as a power sports user or a concert goer or a festival goer. And so you're targeting a message to people who are more inclined to want to listen to it and see it. And if the commercial message is kind of flashy and it appeals to you, then you'll have a higher reaction. So we're doing that. We're also in the Green Bay area. If you go to pump gas between the 7th of July and the 1st of August, in any one of the 23 stores that has the enlarged, upgraded 18-inch LCD screens at the pump, you'll get a 15-second version of that commercial while you're holding onto the pump. It'll send you to pgi.org/tickets. So get the radio ads, you get the streaming ads, you've got the pay at the pump ads. We're in all of the major stadiums. Oshkosh is a big place for us because we were in Oshkosh 4 years ago. So the Oshkosh Arena is helping us with co-branding. They're going to be a fly in the sky drone logo, and in return, they've given us the marquee on the outside of their building. I had to have our art guy create something big enough for that to be shown outside their building. Every doorway, the ice rink in Appleton, there's a screen over the snack bar, and that plays our 30-second commercial. So we're going to be all around. We're pretty much well covered. In addition to that, we have our social media team who are producing new content all the time. And so we'll always probably be either on your iPad or in your cell phone or on your TV, reminding you that you need to buy all 3 tickets, pgi.org/tickets.
I would guess that the folks in Oshkosh I bet they kind of like us. They enjoyed having us there, right? They want to come see more of it.
Adam, I can see the ticket sales data, and there's an overwhelming majority of people that are buying from Oshkosh. But there's also people, by the way, that are buying from all over the country. Peaches and I had what I thought was a private conversation a few weeks ago on our chat channel about someone that bought a ticket from Hawaii, and probably not because she's in Hawaii when she bought it, but probably her legal address is Hawaii. I don't know where in the country she is, but it stood out to me that she was from Hawaii and that she only bought 1 ticket. And so
Is her name Stephanie?
I had a conversation about maybe
Is her name Skylar?
maybe we should try to pair her up with somebody, right? And so there's people coming from all over the country for these events. And last year we had a lot of people who I've met for the first time in the audience because honestly, I never even saw the audience in my past PGI life. By the time I came back from the backfield, it was 1 o'clock after picking up the mods, and I didn't even get a chance at Afterglow. But after talking to the audience, I discovered that they're coming from so far away that they want hotels. And so this year we negotiated early in the year with the local CVB to get discounts for the hotels. And so if you're listening to this and you're planning on coming and you want to go to all 3 shows, go to pgi.org/tickets, and any one of the event sites, you can click on a link that'll bring you to a PGI negotiated hotel site. Make sure that you mention PGI and you'll get a guaranteed discount up until a certain point. I think if you haven't booked by June 15th, they're not going to honor it. But if you book before June 15th, or maybe it's July 15th, I'll have to look, they'll honor the discount. And the discount is supposed to be equal to that of an AARP type of discount. And by the way, the hotel rates range greatly from the number of amenities that you choose and how close to the venue you want to get. So you can buy a $79 a night room, or you can buy a $249 room because you have restaurant, breakfast, kiddie slide. It's up to you. But people from all over are coming, and so we're trying to accommodate that.
Speaking of people coming from all over, so I was just there with you last week at the planning meeting in Appleton, Kaukauna. And as I went back to the airport to fly home to Arkansas, I walk up to my gate, and there sitting at the gate is a friend of mine who has nothing to do with PGI that is from Arkansas
Yeah.
and just happened to be at the Appleton airport.
Okay.
And I go, what are you guys doing here? Oh, we're up here visiting some friends. I'm like, are they good friends? Do you want to
Are
come
you
back
coming
and
back
see
in
them in August?
Yes.
And they were like, are you serious? The PGI is here? I said, absolutely. He said, we're there, we'll be back. So
So cool.
We'll have some Arkansas attendees.
I'm surprised you didn't see any of our posters there, because we have this program we call the Poster Pinup Program. And it's not like that, Peaches.
Do you need any models? Because
no, it's not like that. The Poster Pinup Program is where we distribute posters with an individual piece of paper that invites you to post the poster with permission of the boss or the owner of the establishment. And it's got a 3-step process. Post the poster, take a selfie of yourself in front of the poster, send it to my email address, which is on there, which is tickets@pgi.org, and tell us where it was when you posted it and what the name of the establishment is. And I will return to you a discount code, one-time single-use code, for you to get 2 free tickets. To what night? What's my favorite night?
Wednesday.
night? Or is it Wednesday because it's cheap?
Yeah, it's Wednesday night.
Affordable.
It is. It's Wednesday night because it's cheap. You're right. Damn it. So it wouldn't have surprised me if you found a poster at the airport, because I know I've given a discount code to somebody there already.
Adam actually put one on each seat back of the airplane.
Rick sent me 79 ticket discount codes. It was amazing.
There's another thing that we're doing, which is kind of fun, which I probably shouldn't talk about so early, but I'm going to anyway, because we might have a good audience. Later in the year, we have decided already where our billboards are going to go up along the side of the highway. And the social media team has decided that we want to do a contest, and we get some Easter eggs in some of our messages. You know what I mean by Easter eggs? Little hidden things that you need to find. So we're going to have a public street poster scavenger hunt on social media, and we will post a picture of the billboard without knowing where it is. And we will ask the members of the community to identify where it is. And those who identify it properly will win free tickets and put their name in for a reward. And so we're hoping to create a little bit of buzz and chatter about the scavenger
Yeah,
hunt.
it's fun and engaging.
Yeah, fun and engaging way to go.
You know what we could do at the end of that, if you wanted to go extra, is we could fly a digital billboard with drones at the convention.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's a curveball, right? They're like, where is that? It's like where you should be.
I tried to get Lamar, the billboard provider, to give me the billboard advertising in trade for that, and they wanted cash, so I had to pay for that. All right. But we're also going to have,
Good try, though.
if you go to the movies during the summer, and you go to the snack bar, the dancing popcorn in between, you go to the 7:15 movie at the movie theater and it doesn't play till 7:45 because you have to watch the trailers, right?
Oh, yeah.
The dancing popcorn to get you to go to the concession stand. Well, our commercial that you'll see on streaming TV and maybe at the pump will also be playing in between the trailers at the movie theater and out at the snack bar. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be well covered.
We're everywhere. I'm not going to be able to go anywhere without seeing us.
I hope so.
Peaches, your face is on all of those ads. You knew that,
Gosh,
right?
I hope not. Joel's is.
Your blue hair
Maybe.
waving in the wind.
Guys, you're pretty good, because I had a list of all the things I wanted to make sure that I talked about tonight, and you seem to have already asked me about them all. Is there anything we missed?
It's a good question.
I don't think so.
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay.
Before we started recording, there was some conversation about a discount code if you listen to the
Oh,
podcast.
yes.
That's
right.
right.
I meant to mention that in order to entice people to listen all the way to the end, so maybe we can cut that in and just add that if you are just starting out on this podcast and you're just listening now, you really want to wait to the very end, because Rick has put in a special discount code for the listeners who are going to buy tickets. Now, this code is not good for a PGI member. It's not a discount on your membership, and it's not a discount on your convention fee. It's a discount to buy tickets. And the discount code is iPoint, all in caps. And it's for 20% off. And it's only good for opening night and for VIP boxes, as long as they last. And so keep in mind that there's a set quantity for every discount code. When that quantity gets sold, the discount code disappears. So you have to act fast on that. So it's IPOINT, all in caps. Put that in the discount code category and your 20% will be applied.
Awesome. We like it.
Only for your listeners and viewers.
And only for opening night.
And only for opening night. My favorite night. All right.
Yeah, our Ignition Point insiders.
So, folks, thanks for coming to the Ignition Point podcast. It starts with a spark.
And
ends with a bang.
Bang.
Very good.
Nice. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks,
Enjoyed
Rick.
it.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay. So I've talked about all of the great things that you'll find in the show, but I do want to give you some warnings and some expectations. Those are the stop, do not do this stuff. Private parking is for ticket buyers only. There'll be no street parking allowed. Cars will be towed. This is not the kind of area where you can park along the side of the street. The shoulders are thin and the police won't allow it. They've already told us that they have tow trucks waiting to tow your cars away. This is not a public event. It's a private event held in a private facility. So you're going to be parking in a private parking lot. They do not want tailgaters. We do not want tailgaters. You must buy tickets to come to our shows and park for free. You'll be asked at the entryway if you have tickets. And if you don't have tickets, you'll be pulled over and you won't make it into the parking area until you've purchased tickets. So it's best not to be put in that situation. You'll be pulled over in an on-deck line to purchase your tickets with a credit card only. Once you get past that point, if you already have bought your tickets in advance because you really wanted to go to these shows and you're willing to recognize that the parking is only for ticket-paying customers, please do not bring coolers. Don't bring alcoholic beverage. There'll be alcoholic beverage inside the stadium. We don't want it out in the parking lot. Don't bring your beach umbrellas. Please don't bring your pets. There's no RVs in the parking area. It's going to be very tight. One of the reasons why we don't want tailgaters and free parkers is because we don't want them to take up space from a legitimate ticket buyer and then have those ticket buyers not have a place to park. We also have no tents. We don't want you to bring in tables. You can't bring in canopies, and please leave your personal firearms at home. There's no personal fireworks and no consumer fireworks will be sold to the public. So please don't bring your personal drone to this event either. There'll be plenty of drones in the sky. Please don't bring yours. We won't let you fly it. It's going to cause a hazard and you'll be stopped immediately. You're welcome to bring a backpack or a tote bag, but no alcoholic beverages. So if you want to bring snacks, juice boxes for the kids, and whatever else you think you want to drink that's non-alcoholic, as long as it's not in a cooler and not obvious, you're welcome to do that. One other thing, all sales of tickets are final and there's no refunds. And in the event of a show postponement, your ticket will be accepted for the following night for the same show program. So if you recognize all those things in advance, I think everybody will have a great time.